Hey folks, Captain Mikey here. Well, it's time to visit the Lost Lake. That little lake I found off Google Earth where I caught the monster bass. I waited as long as I could. Only been about a week, but I'm here. But I'm coming prepared this time. I brought more rods. I brought more tackle. I'm really going to spend some time today. I'm going to fine tune. I'm going to hone down. And I guarantee we're going to have an amazing day. Catch some big bass. I'm going to try some frogs, some top water. I got spinner baits. I got jigs. I got crankbaits. I got big monster worms. There's big bass here. We know it. Now we're going to figure out how to catch a whole lot of them, guys. Stay tuned. This is going to be a fantastic episode. Alright guys, so here we are. Now, for those of you that saw the video last time, I found this lake on Google Earth, and I only had about an hour to fish it, and I went around the other side of the lake. But since then I've done a little research, checking out Google Earth and things, and I found that there's a little bit more of a marshy area on this side of the lake. So I'm going to start it off on this side of the lake, and I'm going to start tossing a frog. So we're going to try to cover this little marshy area with the frog. I got a Lunker Hunt frog on here. These things are fantastic. If you haven't used one of these, check them out. Go ahead and buy one of them. They're super easy to use, very effective. Well, let's see if we can catch a fish. This time I came more prepared. I knew I was coming here, so I knew what to expect. I brought a whole bunch of different, a couple different rods, a whole variety of lures and tackle, so I can cover all the bases. Everything from top water to spinner baits to jigs to giant 10-inch, 12-inch worms. All I know is there's big bass in here, and I wanted to be extra prepared. I got something following. There we go. Right away. Nice. Oh, he's a good one too. Oh, did he spit it? I think he spit it and hung me up. Ah, he did. That was a nice fish, guys. I saw him trailing it. I'm pretty sure it was a bass. Wow. Oh, another strike there. Messed my little froggy up pretty good though. Always give your little frog a squeeze after a couple casts. Squeeze his butt, get the water out of it. These hollow body frogs tend to pick up a little bit of water, especially when you've gone through some weeds or a few strikes like that. Oh. Those were some big strikes, whatever they were. So if I can't get them on a different one here, we'll move on to a new spot, but I'll definitely come back. We'll see if we can't fool these big bass again. Alright, so moved on down and around the lake. Actually, I'm almost directly across from that little marsh area I was fishing with the frogs. And I already had this 10-inch worm tied on, Texas rig with a bullet nose sinker. And I'm going to kind of use it right now just to kind of feel out my surroundings, kind of see what's going on here. That's another great thing about these carrot sticks rods like this. I can use it, I call them sonar rods. Because literally, they're mapping the bottom for me. I can feel every little bit of structure that's down there. Feel that it's weedy. feel that it's rocky, feel that there's laydowns or stumps or whatever might be down there. And when I was here last time, I only fished for about 40 minutes. I got 3 very large bass, a 5-pound, a 6.5-pound, and an 8-pound. And that was all I caught. But I'm sure there's got to be smaller fish in here too. The disadvantage I have on this lake in particular, though, there's not a lot of great areas that I can fish from the shore. It's got a kind of a pencil grass all the way around it on most areas, which I can cast over top of it, but knowing the size of these bass, I may not be able to pull them out onto the bank through all that grass. There we go. Oh, there. First fish out of the lake today. And look at that. It is a small one. They do exist. Small fish do exist in this lake, folks. Well, he's just a little guy, but hey, at least we got one so far. Alright, so I switched it up. Put a square bill crankbait on here. I can feel it felt with that worm that it's right, right around that 4 or 5 feet deep spot. This crankbait is actually the one I caught all the big ones on last time I was here. And I can feel it while I'm going along, ticking across the bottom here. It's perfect depth lure for this. But that's how you really want to fish these square bills anyway. That's the most effective method to fish in a square bill, is to actually tick it off of the structure that's down there. That's the design of it. It won't get hung up near as often as most standard crankbaits will because of that design of that bill. And that bill is meant to deflect off of, rocks or tree branches or stumps, whatever it is. And when it actually does that little deflection off of that piece of structure down there, that's generally what triggers those strikes. That fish sees this little crankbait running around like a bait fish, injured, trying to get away as fast as it can, confused, smacking into things, and that's when they decide to hit it. Kind of fan your casts out. You never really know. There we go. Fish on. Oh, that's a good one too, guys. Not as big as those ones last time, but he's got a nice size to him. Probably a good, a good 3 pounds at least. All right, very nice. Don't get anything in my hand here, bud. All right, 2.5 pounds anyway. I'm gonna stop this camera just for a second, guys, while I get my plier. All right, guys, here we go. Well, this time I was a little more prepared than last time. I actually brought my pliers and things with us. That's a nice, beautiful little fish. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's a tournament fish. You catch 5 of those, 2.5 pounds or whatever, you got a decent bag. All right, buddy, enjoy. Thank you. Again, I'm gonna move over down this way a little bit. Here's a rubber worm on the ground here. I'm not the only person fishing this area. It looks like an old culprit worm. Guys, if you see this stuff when you're coming around to these lakes and stuff, pick it up. Pick it up, throw it away. It's irresponsible to leave it like that. I can't tell you how many fish I've actually caught over the years that, they seem really, really skinny. And then when you actually dissect them, they got a belly full of old plastics. Things that people just left in the water, discarded over the side of the boat or whatever it is. And it's absolutely horrible. They're choking them. They're starving to death because they can't digest it. They can't break down that stuff. So if you happen to run across stuff like that, guys, and practice that with your own lures. Don't throw anything back in the water. Don't leave it up on the shore. All sorts of different wildlife will get a hold of it. It's just going to damage everything. Be responsible, folks. Here we go. Here's a fish. mean, it's a decent one. He's not one of those monsters we got last time. But here's another, you know, 1.5 pound, 2 pound fish. You like that worm? Right on, guys. It's fun catching them no matter what. But just because, hey, you know, we came back on shore. Because I know the big ones are here, that's just kind of disappointing. I want one of them monsters again. Alright, so this area is really close to where we were very successful last time. So we'll just find a little spot in the corner here. We'll do the same thing. We'll work it along, see what we can get. Oh, there we go. There's a fish. What do we got? Another bass. Not a monster, but a bass. It's another keeper. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful dark colors on these largemouth here. All right. So that's the worm. Let's see what happens with this crankbait. I get so excited every time I throw this crankbait, just knowing what happened last time I was here. This is pretty much the same spot, same bait, except it's all fouled up this time. Oh my God, right away. We may have wasted our whole day fishing that other side of the lake. Yeah, that's a better one too. Oh yeah, nice. All right. Have to get my pliers for this guy. Careful, bud. I don't want a treble hook in my hand. There we go. Well, guys, gotta love it. That's about the 7th or 8th one today. We haven't caught the monsters yet, but these 2-pounders, 1.5 pounds, tell you, like I said, that can make for a decent little bag in any tournament. I thought I had one of those monsters on that, though. That one hit like a freight train. Well, folks, here we are, right where we began. The one last spot. It's about 7:30 in the evening. Only got a little less than an hour left of sunlight. I was back in the truck, ready to go with the air conditioning on because I'm so hot. Drank a couple more bottles of water, and I said to myself, you know what? I promised you I go back and try that topwater frog in that same spot again. Hopefully we can get it. The biggest fish I seen today, the biggest strike I had was first thing on this frog. That was definitely a big fish. So we'll give it one last shot before we call it a day. Monster Lake has not given up its monsters today. It's holding its secrets out. We had a great day though. I caught about a dozen bass altogether. Nothing huge. 2.5 would probably be the biggest one that I landed. I had some really nice fun strikes on topwater, but I never actually got them. And of course I had those 2 big monster strikes on this frog right in this spot first thing when I got here today. But it's been a long day. I'm tired. Sweat a lot today. My body's cramping up. But that's what a true fisherman does. Never give up. Right to the bitter end, my friends. Right to the bitter end. It's 4th of July. You can start hearing some of the fireworks going off out there. That other low rumble you hear though, that's my belly right behind the camera. Captain is hungry. How come the big bass aren't hungry? Where are they at? Oh, there they are. Oh yeah, that's a better fish too. That's a good way to end the day, I think, guys. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're coming straight in at me. Oh, yeah, that's an excellent way to end the day. Ho-ho! Oh, and he just inhaled that. Oh. Look at that, guys. Tell me he didn't want that frog. Ha-ha! There we go. Nice little 5-pound bass. Not as big as some of the other monsters, but it's the biggest one of the day. And he loved that frog. Look at that. A thing of beauty. Guys, come on out. See me here. Sawgrass Fishing Charters down in beautiful South Florida. I'll put you on the spots that you never thought you would go to. Places like this. It's a field of dreams. Lake of Monsters. Lake Monster, I'm calling it here. Come see me. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had a good time today. This poor girl's bleeding away. I'm going to let her go. We're going to move on, and I'm going to head home, get myself something to eat. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you learned a little something today. I hope you pass it on. Don't forget, go ahead and like this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what else you guys want to see. God, the future is bright, folks. You keep those lines tight. Take care, my friends.